All right, Steve, let's head out to the Plains. We got to talk some Auburn recruiting. Another big visit weekend. Seems like Auburn's just playing at home every single weekend to start the year. This weekend, we're going to talk some flip targets that are on campus, and none bigger than five-star wide receiver out of the state of Mississippi, Caleb Cunningham, who is committed to Alabama. Did name Auburn his leader at one point during the summer, but is committed to the rival Alabama Crimson Tide. What do you make of this visit back to the Plains?
You said it. He's had Auburn at the top of his list at a juncture in this process. Mississippi State's been in that position before. Obviously, Alabama's in that position now. This is a recruitment that's going to go to the end despite his commitment to Alabama. They know that around Tuscaloosa. He was back on Capstone last weekend visiting with Alabama and company, but he's still making the rounds. Certainly there's been a lot of smoke around Ole Miss. He was at their opener. He's expected back at a big game or two with the Rebels later in the process, and still has his official visit to Ole Miss in play as well. But Auburn getting him on campus, getting him back around commits, getting him back around some top targets. It's a big opportunity to win an SEC football game against Arkansas on the Plains. New quarterback on under center, who's 1-0 as a starter, and Hank Brown. You got Deuce Knight coming back, according to Jeff Lee from Auburn Live, on top of a great recruiting class last cycle, kind of showing this wave of recruit, Caleb Cunningham included, where Auburn's going, and trying to get him caught up in it again.
All right. Shamar Arnaud, he's rumored to be at Auburn. You know, we're 48 hours out, so it's no lock that he's going to be there. But Shamar Arnaud, he's a cornerback committed to USC. He's from Carrollton, Georgia. How significant would it be if he shows up on campus this weekend?
Trending to get him on campus this weekend, and I think that Auburn's a program to watch with the USC commit. This is another regional defensive back that they like and would love to add, and if they get him on campus this weekend, we'll see where they continue to stack up next to USC.
All right, wide receiver Sam Carter, who's committed to Georgia Tech. This is a flip target that we've been talking about with a couple programs, but Auburn's going to get him on campus this weekend. What's Sam Carter looking for?
Well, it's obvious that Hugh Freeze and Auburn are looking to have one of the best offenses in college football, and to get there, they need the quarterbacks and wide receivers to play the style of ball that Freeze has been accustomed to playing throughout the course of his career. They recruited one of the best receiver classes in the country last cycle. Now there's a standard. Who are guys that can come in behind and be of the same caliber and push those guys? This is a young man that they view that way, someone that could do a number of things at the wide receiver position with them schematically. Auburn's a program that's been linked to him for a while now, so it's obvious that he has major interest in Auburn despite his commitment to Georgia Tech.
All right. Well, you can tell Hugh Freeze is at the helm of this Auburn program because all we talk about is flips. So we're going to wrap it up with another update on Notre Dame potential flip Deuce Knight. Luke Nickel now getting involved with Auburn recruiting. He's committed to Miami, the quarterback. So we know Chad Simmons reported that Luke Nickel has been in contact with Auburn. Now, he says all the right things. He's committed to Miami. He says he's locked in. Does this have to do with Deuce Knight and him potentially sticking with Notre Dame?
Well, I think that you prepare for anything if you're Hugh Freeze in Auburn. Look, he's been around the game for a long time. You and I have been covering recruiting for a long time. Deuce Knight expected back at Auburn this weekend per Jeffrey Lee. We know he's got an official visit slated for the following weekend. So that would be 4 Auburn games and Big Cat weekend. There's the buzz that he wants to play in the SEC. Certainly Ole Miss lingers in this recruitment as well for Deuce Knight, but you take nothing for granted. This is a young man that has not made any kind of public declaration that he's going to Auburn and decommitting from Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is looking to get him back either for this Louisville game, which is the same weekend that he's scheduled to take his official visit to Auburn. I think he'll be on the Plains that weekend. But then there's the Stanford game, hearing that Deuce Knight could also return to Notre Dame for the Stanford game later in the fall. And then again, Ole Miss remains having dialogue too. I think when you add up all the intel favors Auburn to eventually land Deuce Knight. Yeah. But sometimes situations don't go the way the intel is perceived. And I think if you're Hugh Freeze in Auburn, you really need to land another potential difference maker at quarterback. They've already had some quarterback musical chairs with the roster this year. They got some young, talented guys that they like, but Hugh Freeze wants to make sure he is one of the best quarterbacks in the country under center. So he wants to stockpile them. So you take a swing at a Luke Nickel, Julian Lewis, wouldn't be surprised. I think there's still dialogue with Julian Lewis, so maybe they come back around on him and put the full court press on the USC commit. But right now, there's no question that Deuce Knight is Auburn's top quarterback target in 2025. But no guarantees in recruiting. And so you continue to see who else is out there, who's interested. Luke Nichols, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think it's going to be a hard flip from Miami, particularly with the way Miami's playing and recruiting and the loyalty that Miami showed him. Again, you got to remember, Miami committed Luke Nichols before he was nationally known. He just came to camp and threw the ball well. That was before he was a state champion quarterback at Georgia, now trying to be a national champion quarterback at Milton High before going to Miami and trying to take them to the national championship. So Miami was way ahead of the curve on Luke Nichols. Yes, people are coming behind, but Shannon Dawson, Mario Cristobal knew what they had when they had him in camp, and he sees the vision for the program and is excited about the Hurricanes.
All right, Auburn fans, we just talked 4 targets, all of them flip targets: Caleb Cunningham, Shamar Arnaud, Sam Carter, Deuce Knight, maybe Luke Nichols. That would be 5. But let us know. Comments
earlier in the show.
Yeah, we did. Comment section below. How many of these flip targets can Hugh Freeze land in 2025? Let us know. Comment section below.